So, good afternoon, everyone. As I promised, I brought some information, and actually, the information that I outlined here in these 2 pages is basically my affidavit that got done today. My affidavit, I'm going to show you with my fingerprint and signed. So this affidavit basically is going to correlate everything that I'm going to say today. And I want you guys to understand that this affidavit is going to be submitted with the documents, a certain amount of documents. So there's going to be a 2-phase. Actually, there'll be 3 phases. So this is phase 1. There'll be 2 and 3 because there's so much evidence. So because there's so much evidence, we're going to have to do this slowly so the American people can grasp. I want this to be circulated nationwide and across and internationally. So we're going to show why we have to drain the swamp here in Clark County and in Carson City. So basically everything in this affidavit, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read the outline of what we did and how we came about it. Thank you, John. So we're going to put Judge Navarro on the top of this. And I'm going to outline, because dates are extremely important. Without these dates and a time frame, we cannot put a time frame to demonstrate the amount of corruption that has happened under Rory Reid in Clark County. So because we had to go to Judge Navarro and demonstrate the corruption, how she participated in this corruption, in the fraud against the Bundys, against the Haigs, and any rancher out there that has been fighting for their land, their water, their lumber, and minerals. So here we go. In 1989, Gloria Navarro earned a Bachelor's of Arts degree from the University of Nevada. From there, in 1992, she earned a doctorate from Arizona University College of Law. In 1993, she worked part-time as a mitigation investigator for Las Vegas law firm and contract clerk for several organizations. Between 1994 and 98, Gloria Navarro worked as an associate attorney for Las Vegas law firm. 2001 to 2014, she served as a deputy special public defender for Clark County. Remember, Rory Reid's county. In 2005 and 2009, served as a deputy chief district attorney for civil division in Clark County. Now, her husband, Brian Rutledge, also works in the DA in Clark County. So we have to demonstrate the connection. Let me say this again. Between 2005 and 2009, served as a deputy chief district attorney for civil division in Clark County, the same location where her husband, Brian Rutledge, worked. December 24 to 2009, Obama fully nominated Navarro to take the vacancy in which she took from Judge Brian Sandoval. This is the same Brian Sandoval that is the governor of Nevada. Let's not forget, after the assassination of Anthony Scalia's, Rory Reid decided to nominate Brian Sandoval to take his position. Brian Sandoval declined, so we have to understand that, because this is a huge connection with Brian Sandoval. He's a Republican, but an amazing, impeccable friend for Rory Reid, in which he covers up everything. Now, Sandoval, remember, because we have a lot of tentacles, and in these tentacles, Sandoval as the governor helps Rory Reid in the land grab. Remember, we have Gloria Navarro helping Rory Reid with the land grab. So now you have the executive branch and you have the judicial branch, in which Rory Reid has his arms in, his pockets, his hands on this. So on March 4, 2005, the United States Senate Committee on Judicial voted to send Navarro. Basically nominate Navarro. 98 to 100 confirmed Navarro to be the judge that took over Brian Sandoval. On May 6 of 2002, she received her oath of office, in which she took the case. Between 2004 and 2008, the U.S. Federal Court filed a lawsuit against the Hague case. for two things: the grazing and the water rights. Now, why this is so important is because Judge Robert C. Jones took that case and presided over that case. Once Judge Jones ruled in favor of the Hague and went to the 9th Circuit Court of Appeals. So we have to bring the Hague case back in because this is under Judge Robertson. Because here you go, you have Barrett Gold Inc. Why is so important, Barrett Gold Inc.? Because Barrett Gold Inc. Harry Reid has his hands in this cookie jar with Barrett Gold Inc. With his son Rory Reid, with his son-in-law Stephen Beverland, with Barrett Gold Inc., which he represents Barrett Gold Inc. And I'm going to give you a prime example of the case number in which Steve Berenger, Steve Berenger is presiding for Barrett Gold Inc. That, remember, that's married to Key Reid, which is Harry Reid's daughter. Here is the case number: 3-15-117-RCJ-VBC. I'm going to repeat it. That is 3-15-CV-117-R, C as in Charlie, J as in Jesus, dash V as in Victor, P as in Papa, C as in Charlie. This case is extremely important, in which Robert C. Jones is presiding in that case. Now, remember, in order for Barrett Gold Inc. to extract any minerals, just like Nevada mining, they need the land. And who's behind the land grabbing? Harry Reid, under two things: S-198, S-199, HR 295, and HR 856, including the House bill on the 113th Congress. So you can go back to those bills and read that specific bill, and it'll relate to everything that we have with respect to the land grabbing and the BLM. Now let me continue with Gloria Navarro, because and her husband, and why their connection with Rory Reid. So Navarro was recommended by Rory Reid and Harry Reid to take over Robert C. Jones after Robert C. Jones was kind of demoted or decided to half retired, and his caseload, they reduced his caseload to 35%. Do not take my word for it. Investigate this. These are facts. Judge Gloria Navarro has taken most of the cases that Robert C. Jones is presiding. Do not take my word for it. Look it up. So most of the cases that Judge Robert C. Jones has stepped away from, Gloria Navarro has taken over. Especially high-profile cases in which you will not hear in NBC and ABC, CBS, Fox News. Only us, the alternative media, you will get that. And the only way you're going to find out is go through those doors and go to the Red Courthouse, and you can find out every case in which Gloria is presiding, especially high-profile cases. Now, these high-profile cases that has to do with lands, has to do with banks, has to do with water and minerals. So any kind of fraud you want to see, this is the courthouse in which Gloria Navarro covers up all Harry Reid's actions, and Brian Scandova, with the help of Steve Myers. So we cannot forget Steve Myers. Steve Myers is presiding in this case with the Bundys, in which he participated in the civil suits with the Bundys. Now we have to understand that Steve Myers took over for Daniel Bogan. Daniel Bogan was caught with regards to Whitmore. Remember you got to go back because of 2011. You got to go back to the timeline, because this timeline is crucial. Because Rory Reid as a commissioner, and his son and his father as a senator. So, and back in 2011, Daniel Bogan, through the black end deals that Whitmore basically committed illegal fraud, campaign contributions, in which Harry Reid got illegal campaign contributions in which Harry Reid accepted. These illegal, campaign contributions in which Harry Reid accepted, Steve Myers has refused to this day to prosecute Harry Reid for that illegal campaign contribution through Whitmore. I ask you why. I ask you why Stephen Myers has not prosecuted the corrupt, dirty Harry Reid. This is for what Nevada needs to start asking, because the level of corruption that goes in there is the biggest swamp ever, because that's the cesspool of members of the American Bar Association. Let me continue. On January 1st, 2015, Governor Scandival, Nevada State Legislature, who succeeded Robert C. Jones as Chief Judge in the U.S. District of Nevada. And why I have to say that and reiterate is because remember, Harry Reid wanted him to run for governor. And what's so crazy, back in 2010, 2011, we have to remember established years, is because Rory Reid went against Brian Scandival for governor. How comical is it that his son Rory Reid is going against Brian Sandoval? Brian Sandoval is a Republican and his son is a Democrat. It does not matter if you're Republican or Democrat. These guys are corrupt, paid and bought for by Harry Reid. On top of that, no matter who was going to win, you were going to get screwed. So everybody here in the state of Nevada, you are getting screwed. Not just through taxation, but they're stealing your land, your water, your lumber, and minerals. These criminals need to be behind bars, including Steve Myers for aiding and abetting in the cover-up, or allowing Harry Reid to get away with accepting illegal campaign contributions. These are facts. And I challenge anybody to state otherwise. I have my affidavit, it's signed with my fingerprint. And this will be brought up because all the attachments to this affidavit are going to be part and submitted in there. Now, in May 24, 2013, The Hague was overturned. We have to bring this up. The Hague case was overturned by the 9th Circuit Court of Appeals. When you see the 9th Circuit Court of Appeals, they're a bunch of libertards. Most of these libertards are Democrats. They do not care. They're half communists, socialists, or are about to be communists. No different than Gloria Navarro, which her father and her mother came from Cuba. Do not take my word for it. Research it, because these are facts. Navarro was born by Cubans and was born here in Nevada by Cubans that were brought here, and I guess decided to escape Fidel Castro, but ended up a communist herself or a socialist. So she's stealing land, aiding and abetting in the theft of the Bundy's lands. So I apologize because I'm so passionate about the truth. And these are facts. And I challenge everyone to come after, whoever wants to challenge me, any corrupt official, by all means, bring it. Bring it, because all this evidence is going to come out. One way or another, through the alternative media or through the courtroom. But one way or another, especially Steve Myers. You my man, are a special case. You know what? You are no different than I am. You wake up in the morning and you put your pants no different than I am, and you shit no different than I am, and you wipe your ass no different than I do. With regards to the BLM, neocrones, you were appointed by Harry Reid, neocrones from Elk, Nevada. So Barrick Gold Inc. is established here in Nevada because of Harry Reid and Larry D. Crones. So Larry D. Crones is father of neocrones, which is a geologist for Barrick Gold Inc. Stephen Beringer, again, he represents Barrick Gold Inc. He's a son-in-law of Harry Reid, married to Kay Reid. These are facts. You can look them up. Nevada Mining. Oh, and by the way, look at the campaign contributions and look at the earmarks. Earmarks, especially earmarks. Look at the earmarks and where they go. Water, land, minerals. Water, land, minerals. And it goes also to Las Vegas. The geology department. Do not take my word for it. Investigate. And Harry Reid's hand all over Las Vegas University in the geology department and the minerals here in the state of Nevada. So the people, the homeless that are sitting over there on that park over there that are suffering, Harry Reid, where you at? Why don't you bring all that money that you have stolen from the people of Nevada and start giving it out to all those homeless in our military? Bright Source purchased 83,000 acres for their solar farm development that was aided and abetted by neocrones and Harry Reid. These are facts. Why isn't it Stephen Myers going after this corruption? He's aiding and abetting. What about the Approval Resource Management Plan Amendment, Record of Decision, ROD, for the solar energy development for ENN Energy of a tune of $5 billion? What about Dry Lake Solar Energy Zone under the BLM Technical Note 444? I'll say it again because this is important, because this is in the BLM documents. The Approval Resource Management Plan Amendment, record of decision, also known as the ROD for solar energy development, which aided and abetted in ENN Energy, which Rory Reid and Harry Reid know well about the $5 billion deal and the Dry Lake Solar Energy Zone, in which was put in the BLM Technical Notes 444. This has to come out. It will come out in that courtroom. Now, where's Steve Myers on that? Look at the corruption, Steve Myers. I know you're aiding and abetting. I saw your ass in the courtroom. So, you're nobody special. Rory Reid. Rory Reid, let's not forget the 9,000 acres that he bought underbid for himself, for his cronyism. 9,000 acres which he stole from the people of Nevada for himself, in which he can benefit. Where is a common law grand jury for that? That is fraud. You know what? Everything what I'm saying here needs to be investigated by a common law grand jury. I'm talking about the time from 2002 to 2011, when Rory Reid was a Clark County commissioner in this state of Nevada, has to be opened up and investigated. Especially the bills that he passed as a commissioner. As a commissioner, he participated with regards to water rights, managing managing minerals. And on top of it, he has control of the courthouse, meaning all the dirty lawyers are under the thumbnail of Harry Reid. So when you go into this courthouse or that courthouse, there's 3 courthouses here besides the federal courthouse, and you expect to get justice, you will get none. Let's go back to 2011, because this is crucial, because this is a time frame. This time frame from between Rory Reid was a commissioner to 2011 and even up to 2013 is because of the Reid family. Harvey Whitmore, another one, $42,000 acres he got for the Caillou Spring Golf Resident Development. This is where the illegal campaign contribution came about, in which Whitmore went to jail for it, and Daniel Bogan had to step down, and now you got Steve Myers. But where's Steve Myers? Why is he not prosecuting any of these criminals? Oh, that's right, he's in bed with these criminals. So, I'll bring this down now. Let's see how many people are these a part of the American Bar Association. Gloria Navarro, her husband, Brian Rutledge, Harry Reid, Rory Reid, Leaf Reid, Stephen Myers, Daniel Bogan, your governor, Brian Sandova. He's an amazing attorney, an amazing governor, and I guarantee he's doing a lot for the people on how he's stealing your land. And by the way, ask the homeless over there, and ask our veterans. Go to the VA and ask them how they're being treated. This criminal needs to be behind bars also. With respect to Robert C. Jones, we know you got screwed. We know the legislators with Harry Reid, Rory Reid, and a bunch of dirty commissioners that were involved in this, making your life miserable, including the 9th Circuit Court of Appeals. We know you were railroad, and I hope this evidence gets to your hands in one way, shape, or form. I hope you ask or demand a common law grand jury to investigate all these criminals in which I mentioned here, and all the way up to Washington, D.C., sir. I beg you, I hope you team up with Michelle Fiore. I hope you team up with the Bundys. I hope you team up with the Hague case. I hope you team up with all the ranchers that are having their land stolen by the BLM. It's a fraud. It's a front with the Department of Fish and Wildlife and the U.S. Forestry. They are criminals. These are criminals. So, this is all I gotta say. People of Nevada, this affects you. What are you going to do? I brought you the evidence. It's now time for you, the people of Nevada, to rise. From here all the way to Carson City, where this swamp, this cesspool of corruption needs to stop. If we do not restore this republic, not for us, but for our children, we are doomed. This is what the Bundy stood for. The Bundys need your help. The Hague family needs your help. And all the ranchers out there need your help. We all need to come as one. Forget about race, forget about religion, forget about politics. Because remember, I just showed you, it doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. They're in bed together, including Diane Tights, whatever her name is. She's a legislator down in Carson City with a guy named Dallas Hallis. He's also part of this the Gold Butte Monument. So Republicans and Democrats are screwing you. So forget about religion. Forget about your skin color. At the end of the day, look at how much money you're taking through taxation. They're screwing you through taxation while they create unconstitutional laws to steal from you. And they're all part of the American Bar Association. You want to make a change? Start voting all these criminals out of office. Especially for anybody that's part of the American Bar Association. Not just get rid of them, but it's time to put and impose immediately a term limit for all these corrupt judges like Gloria Navarro, like Anna Akins, like Anna J. Brown, like Malloy. These are corrupt judges. Sharon L. Gleason, judge, another judge out there, Mark Myers from Alaska. All these corrupt judges need term limits. If we do not get term limits, these corrupt individuals are going to continue doing what they're doing, defrauding us and putting innocent people in jail to cover up Harry Reid and Rory Reid and Leaf Reid and this guy Brian Scandova. It's time to put all these criminals in jail because that's what they are. And stop voting them in the legislative office or in D.C. where they make the laws to benefit them and their law firm and these corrupt courtrooms, because that's what they are, corrupt. So ask yourself this question: is Steve Myers going to investigate Gloria Navarro? I doubt it, because her hands are all over this. And she's the front man for Harry Reid to cover up everything within those courtrooms. So God bless us, God bless our children, and thank you for your time.
Can I add something before you leave? That was 9,000 acres, Coyote Springs?
Correct. Coyote
Springs, I think you said it was 9,000 acres?
No, the Coyote Springs Golf is 42,000 acres.
42,000.
42,000 acres.
There's a point of interest that you'd like to know. That was, in the state of Nevada, is considered critical desert habitat at one time.
Under the Endangered Species Act?
I don't think it was under Endangered Species Act, but it was considered critical desert habitat. And somehow, you got a big giant project going out there, a golf course and a bunch of residential housing, and it traces all the way back to Harry Reid. One other thing, Governor Sandoval was instrumental in getting a law passed here in Southern Nevada to outsource the money for the workman's compensation. Okay, it was $1 billion, and it was outsourced offshore. When they tried to repatriate that money, they did not get that money back. And yet, so where did that money go? I believe it was $1 billion. Somebody got a kickback and a payoff for that.
Well,
too.
You know what? That's funny that you said that. I'm glad that you brought that up. That's Steve Myers to find out. Well, Steve Myers, as a DA, is he willing to investigate that? He probably not, because guess what? He probably received something, or did a back end deal and did a little job for his friend. But let me bring this up, and I'm glad you brought up about the pension plan. Brian Rutledge, Gloria Navarro, his pension plan is $5 million. That's that's over $130,000 a month in which he's going to receive. Do not take my word for it. It's public record. It's already been printed out. All this information's already been printed out. It's in PDF files. There's hard copies. If they want to bring it down, we'll bring it up. If they want to delete all this information, we will provide the PDF files and where we got it. So guess what? Who's going to pay this $5 million pension plan for Mr. Brian Rutledge, Gloria Navarro's husband? You are. You're the taxpayer. What are you going to do?
They're sucking us dry.
And guess what? He gets his salary is $163,000. How many Americans make $163,000? And he's a government official. A government official. You're paying this man to commit crimes through the American Bar Association and his title of nobility. That's what you're paying for. $163,000 a year. And it's going up. What are you going to do? Why don't you go find out how much Gloria Navarro is making? What about her pension plan? What about Harry Reid's pension plan? What about Rory Reid as a commissioner's pension plan? How about looking at that? What about Brian Scandova's pension plan? Why don't you look that up? Guarantee is all tied up in the minerals and the hedge funds.
$1 billion in offshore bank accounts.
So, what would you...
Right out with you.
Okay. Go ahead.
So that was awesome, guys. Laz is a true patriot. He's a true whistleblower, and we need more people like him to stand up and research this stuff and bring this corruption out. We going to bring up a couple more things. Joshua Martinez is still in jail at the moment. He has a court hearing at noon. Probably right now, while we're here down here at the Federal Courthouse, he's over at the county courthouse, and so he's in hearing right now to be released. I think his bond is at $640. We did have an anonymous donor that has offered to pay that for him and get him out. We also had a law firm here in Nevada that has called us, reached out to us, and has offered to take his case for free. So there's Josh did a great thing. He did nothing wrong. He was out here just trying to enter the courtroom, and they arrested him for they said he was trespassing, is what they said. And what did they charge him with?
Trespass. Well, let me say something about that. The officer in charge is Officer Jenkins. Officer Jenkins is infamous for up there at the Bundy Ranch at the crossover, in a conversation him and I had, which we end up on Channel 8 News. Channel 8 News said I called him a liar. Okay? So you think he would have learned his lesson since then? But no, he hasn't learned his lesson. He just arrested an innocent man.
Well, Homeland Security told us afterwards they wasn't going to arrest him. The marshals weren't going to arrest him. So it was wrong of the what was the police that arrested him?
That's Metro Police.
Metro Police is the one that intervened and actually arrested him. And so that was totally wrong. We're going to get Josh out, and hopefully later today we'll be able to speak with him about this situation. And let me speak a little bit about Oregon. So they're having more hearings today. Dwayne Emmer, Jason Patrick, Jake Ryan, and Daryl Thorne are over there in hearings all day today. I understand briefly, and I don't know all the details yet, and I will hopefully later today or tomorrow, but the marshals kicked Jason Patrick out of the courthouse for some reason today. And this kind of injustice needs to stop. Jason Patrick is in there trying to defend himself as his own lawyer. He's fighting a corrupt system, and the marshals are kicking these defendants out. They're locking them up, taking things in their own hands without any due process or even charges that are legally. So we'll keep you updated. Thanks for joining us. We're down here in front of the courthouse passing out constitutions today and trying to educate the people. We have stamped all of our constitutions. On the back it says Bundy Strong. On the inside of these constitutions, we've also put Free the Political Prisoners on top, Bundy Strong again. And we're going to pass out some $2 bills that somehow got Bundy Strong on those also, on the front and back. So we don't know how that happened, but we're down here trying to educate and teach people and fight for justice. Thank you guys, and God bless.